How much?
Uh, 300,000?
Okay, guys, I'm gonna stop it here. I'm gonna ask Francois how can it be 300 grand? Like that's like more than the price of my house when I bought it.
Yeah,
300 grand.
yeah, yeah.
Like I don't see any gold, diamond,
No,
like
no,
vibranium,
no,
none of that.
no, no unobtainium.
So guys, today I am at Francois's place, Francois Lemay, right?
Bonjour.
Bonjour here. Let me just,
Bonjour.
oh, I can't see you. It's kind of dark. Anyway,
Okay.
so I'm here to check out his system. Francois is interesting because here, once again, we have a very high-end system, and he is actually the one who designed this.
The electronic, yeah, the Tenor audio
Yeah, the
was,
10.
was designed by Michel van der Broek, but I'm the businessman who knew that Michel had a very special designer talent, and we asked him to build a prototype. And when we heard the first prototype, that's 25 years ago,
Yeah,
we said, okay, let's go in business because the sound was so different, so better than everything that I know.
I see, I see.
That started the whole thing.
So this is made in Canada.
Yeah, made in Montreal. Yeah.
So Tenor is a Canadian company then.
Absolutely.
I see.
Completely Canadian, yeah.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about Tenor because I see them at audio shows.
Yeah. Well, it's a little company that produce almost on order because it's very, very expensive. And the line of product is very simple. You have a stereo amplifier in one frame like this, right and left,
Yeah.
or you have the mono. And they produce 350 watt at 8 ohm and 1500 watt at 2 ohm. And it's hybrid design.
What do you mean by hybrid?
It's tube and transistor. But
Oh,
all the gain is in the tube stage.
yeah.
And the buffer is, there's no gain. So the sound is made really by it's an OTL amplifier, in fact, in the middle of it. So the voltage is from the tube and the current is from the transistor. It's really different because what the designer Michel van der Broek is theoretical frame is called HSI, harmonic structural integrity. It means that he's not looking like most engineer for flat, no distortion, no noise, blah, blah, blah. So that's easy to do.
What? Really?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
easy to do flat?
Yeah, yeah. You can have very cheap amplifier that will be linear, low noise, and very low distortion.
But I thought that's the holy grail. Everybody wants if it wants a
Yeah.
flat amplifier.
But you have a lot of amplifier that measure perfectly,
Yes.
but after 15 minutes,
Yes.
you just scratch your head. Well, it's nice, but why I am tired? Why I don't enjoy it?
Okay.
It measures perfectly, no problem.
Yes.
But sonically it doesn't work. So the Tenor is working on, the goal is to preserve the harmonic spectrum. The harmonic spectrum of the instrument, when you amplify it, okay, you can amplify it by maybe 1,000 times in voltage. So if you change the relation between the little harmonic and the fundamental, if you do a little, let's say, error in the difference between the low level and the high level, it becomes sort of unnatural and tiring. So the trick is to have a spectrum, a specific spectrum, that is kept all the way through all the gain level. If you don't change the harmonic structural integrity all the time, it just become natural and very dynamic.
Right. So what do you have for source?
Okay, we have two sources.
Yeah.
We have analog, which is the famous Kronos Pro turntable.
Okay.
Okay, and with the Black Beauty arm, this is not the latest arm, but they have a better arm now, and the Zix Omega Premium cartridge. This goes to the Tenor
Phono?
Phono preamp. This old box is the Phono preamp. It weighs 70 pounds.
Okay.
Well, this is now about, with the arm, everything, I think it's 85 grand Canadian.
85 grand. What is this made of? Like diamond or what? Like,
Sorry, this is,
I mean, at the cartridge, I mean,
well,
this
it's
is,
the Zix Omega Premium, and it's not the top of the line, but I think this is 8 or, well, no, Canadian, 12,000, 12,000, sorry.
12,000. That's like
Yeah.
half my car there, you know
Yeah,
that, right?
yeah,
That's
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
wow. Okay, so this is supposed to,
Kronos.
yeah, so I'm afraid to even touch the
So we
Okay.
used, and that's the power supply, special power supply for the Kronos.
I noticed that when you touch it, it can vibrate.
Yes,
Oh,
well,
look at
it's
that,
all
look at-
suspended. Yeah, the magic of
Oh.
that turntable is that is the only one in the world with two platter.
Okay.
One turned the right side and the other one turned the other side.
Why?
Ah,
To balance
that's
it or?
It's to, honestly, it's because it's a suspended
Yeah,
turntable.
yeah.
You need to suspend turntable. If you don't suspend it, forget it. You'll have feedback. So this is the basic design. But as soon as you have a rotating mass,
Yes.
because there's some little friction in the bearing, even the tiniest friction will be counter. There'll be a fight between this turning
Yes.
mass and the friction. So this will induce a very micro, we're talking maybe micron
Yeah.
vibration.
Uh-huh.
And the only really physical way to do it, to cancel that,
Yeah.
is like in a motor. You have a countershaft, a counterbalance. So
Mm-hmm.
you counterbalance by the same mass, same speed, but turning on the other side.
So this is a phono from
Yeah.
Tenor.
Phono stage tenor.
Is it tube?
Yeah, it's tube. Well, tube and transistor. It's more complicated than that. Even the REA correction is passive and active.
Okay, so how much are we looking at for this one?
150.
What? For a phono preamp?
Yes.
150 Canadian.
Yes, but you can compare it to any phono preamp you know. And I had a friend a few months ago.
Yeah.
He had a very, very good high-end preamp,
Yeah.
and he was skeptical. I say, okay, let's do the test.
Yes.
So we made the test,
Yeah.
we listened correctly, and then we switched to this phono.
Yeah.
After 2 notes, you look back, I was sitting in the back, you look back, oh, what's going on? It's like
Oh.
a different recording.
Really?
It's not, sometimes you compare 2 preamp and it takes 2 days. Oh, maybe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
Oh, you have
Yes.
to choose your compromise, and you're not never sure because you're used to the first sound, so it's hard to decide.
Yeah.
That means the difference is not clear enough.
Right.
When as soon as you start to listen, oh, violin is more real, more there. The voice are more present, more human, So that's
Yes.
the effect the tenor does.
All right.
Yeah.
Then what else? Where do we go now?
Okay, I have a tuner. That's Manyam Danalab, very good tuner.
Yeah.
But the other source is the famous Grim Audio MU2,
How much is this thing?
24.
What? 100?
1,000.
20? Yeah, that's right.
1,000.
See,
But it's a rune server, rune core. It's an upsampler. It's a DAC. It's a noise shaper also, and it's a preamp.
Yeah, but Francois, I can get the same thing with a $2,000.
That's
Right? These days, you can find that.
That's what I wrote on Lemay Audio. He said there's nothing special about that.
Right. Oh,
There's a lot of unit that for let's
Yeah.
say $500 they'll do everything.
yeah.
But sonically, that's a totally different world.
Okay. Like, what
And I
chip
saw-
does it use then? How's that?
What?
What chipset? What DAC chip?
No chip.
Okay.
It's
See, no, no.
FPGA.
Oh, see, now that's interesting. See?
And that's the trick. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
why this sounds so good, it's the way they treat the signal. The way they do the upsampling.
Yeah.
A very, very high level of upsampling, and they do also noise shaping, and they balance both because when you upsample too much, the noise shaping is detrimental.
So we're going down to
Where we go, okay, that's
this.
the preamp.
Okay,
That's
tell me
Phono.
about the preamp first.
Hey?
Tell me about the preamp.
The preamp is also a hybrid.
Okay, so yeah, tube. So there's a lot of tubes in the system that I
Yeah,
noticed.
it's
right?
all hybrid, tube and transistor.
So I noticed there's no button to choose.
Yeah, because this is a prototype.
Okay, so the final one
The
has.
final one has a shape like this.
Yeah.
And you'll have to go on the Tenor Audio website to see it. This is not the real thing, but the circuitry is inside is 80 to 85% of the final product.
Okay, so how much is the product if you
225,000. Yeah.
Duh, it's not
And you
peso
need
for
two.
sure. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Even
the complete system. If they have two level. Well, the amplifier, you have now the haute puissance, which is 500 watt per channel, 500 watt per unit, but the whole system is almost 700,000.
Yeah.
It's very expensive.
So this is the power supply for this.
Yes, that's right.
Then. Must be very quiet. Okay, then you go to the monoblocks then, right?
Then we go to the monoblocks.
Okay, so what's that big thing on
This
the top?
is the supply for the
the speaker,
the harmonic speaker.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the monoblock will drive any speaker you can think of.
What is special about the monoblock? Okay, let me guess.
It's the sound. It's the sound, and it's so lively.
It's actually a bit warm.
No, it's only just warm. It doesn't get the ventilation is very good.
How many tubes are in here?
Nine tube.
And this is a hybrid too, right?
Yeah.
So you got what, class AB output, or how does it work?
Yeah, it's a class AB.
Okay.
It's about I think 15 watt in class A.
Okay.
And the rest in class AB.
So it's a 50. You can think of it. Well, 15 watts is a lot of class A.
Yeah,
You're talking about.
Yeah.
How much?
300,000.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna stop it here. I'm gonna ask Francois how can it be 300 grand? Like that's like more than the price of my house when I bought it. 300 grand.
Yeah.
Like I don't see any gold, diamond,
No.
like
No.
vibranium, none of that.
No unobtained parts inside.
Right. Actually, I'm gonna ask him the hard question. Right.
Why?
What? How? 300 grand? Like, give me an like. Okay, I know I'm gonna post this video up. People are gonna say, "Oh, greedy. They're greedy. The companies, right?" But for me, who run a business, I know it's not like that. It's really not like that. There's a reason why this 300 grand, and I know whatever I say here will not convince anybody of anything. I know that. However, for those who are open-minded, for those who are curious as to how can this be 200, 300, 2 times my car, 3 times my car. Okay, how can this be 300 grand?
Well, first of all, you need to know that normally the retail price is 5 times the cost of the unit for the manufacturer.
Yes, because you need to.
It's about 5.
You need to.
Times. So let's say it's a $100,000 cost.
Yeah.
Okay. This amp is the result of 8 years of R&D.
So you got to pay somebody 8 years to build this.
And in fact, 8 years, let's say 3 people.
Oh.
So it's a $500,000 spending every year. Okay.
Okay, so
R&D for this, it did cost between $300,000 and $400,000 a year.
a year, guys. We're talking about 8
year.
years, right?
So,
Because you have to think about.
And you take that for 8 years to come. This included the first generation of
Yeah.
MTL, but it's the same R&D. We learn, we improve. So you end up in 2009 with that final product.
Okay, so 8
So
years
you
to
have 4 or
develop.
5 million already spent. So you need to recoup that. And also,
What? 4 or 5 minutes?
since this company do almost no marketing,
Yeah.
it's a very low production level.
Okay.
It's so exclusive
Yeah.
that some people don't know Tenor, but they've been sold all over the world in limited quantity, and but you'll never see advertisement. The company is more a R&D company. You can't imagine how many steps are to build an amplifier like that. I think
Wow.
it takes 3 weeks minimum to build one. And
Right.
if you look inside, you look at the wiring, it's so nice, it's so beautiful. It's when you have a tech who look inside, he says, oh my God, who built that?
Yeah, because when we talk about R&D, it never crossed my mind it costs $4 million to do R&D. And now this sounds cheap. Now that you mention it, 300 grand. I mean, you know how many you have to sell to make up that $4 million, right? It's a passion, right?
You need to sell, I don't know, 25 a year or something like that. I don't know.
I don't know how many people would, have that kind of
Especially if you don't do any marketing, you don't do shows. So it's
word of mouth then,
word of
eh?
mouth.
Okay.
And when we sell one in, let's say, in one audiophile club,
Yeah.
then we sell another one. Basically, that's the business model. I mean, you know what a tenor can do.
Yeah.
You can demo it to anyone, and they'll buy one if they have the.
I see. I see. So is the amp tuned by year or you tuned by measurement?
No, by spectrum.
By spectrum?
Yeah.
So you tune it by spectrum?
Yeah.
Not by listening, not by measurement, by spectrum.
Spectrum.
Oh, that's interesting. And then
That's very different from any company I know. Also, spectrum at different level.
Okay, now
So,
that's
so
another.
you,
That sounds
so
like
you have to monitor exactly how the spectrum evolve with the level. So if the spectrum change, the sound will change, and that at high level. The trick with tenor, you can listen. I'll do a demo in a few minutes, but you can listen to big orchestra, and when every instrument come together, or voice normally with a low distortion amplifier, blah blah, even the best, you have a strain. You'd like to probably reduce the level.
Yeah.
With a tenor,
Yeah.
you want to raise a level because you have the energy. It has not changed at the maximum level. When the crescendo arrive, the relation between the bass frequency and the harmonic doesn't change. Like in natural, I mean, you go to the concert. So knowing that the electronic can do that, I decide to sort of take a retirement 10 years ago and start to do my loudspeaker research. And I'll show you something. Maybe I prepare that just to give you an idea. Some of the speakers that were in this same listening room, okay?
Whoa.
At the same time.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
We have a ribbon, apogée du état signature.
Yes.
We have a sub, which is a servo sub. We have the Genus 70, the one I'll show you. Full range, lamb horn with AER.
Yeah.
Sound Lab electrostatic.
Yeah.
King Sound electrostatic. This which one? Goldman Dialogue and WLM Grand Viola. And that's only part of the speaker that I spent sometime 6 months, sometime a year. And I had a big line array, Sina, which is 60 grand line array. So my goal was to learn what each technology can do or can't. What is the strength and the weakness? And so at the end of that research, my conclusion was that I need the coherency of a full range.
Yeah.
I need no crossover. That's and you know how no crossover make magic. Okay. And I need the speed of electrostatic.
Okay. So
but this doesn't exist.
Oh.
That's the problem.
So that's why you
So
built these
I
speakers.
had to work on, well, I've had you can, no, I don't have here, but I had the Dayton Wright original electrostatic speaker that we have rebuilt with gas in it. We've rebuilt completely, which I've learned, I knew from 50 years ago. That was a speaker I've listened to, and wow, that was a shock. And I knew that if I could rebuild it here, it would be nice. So I had a pair, completely rebuilt, perfectly working, but still scratching my head. There was no, the dynamic was there, but the spatialisation was not possible because the panel is too wide, and the length, the time, the length between the driver and your ear is different. As soon as there's a different length, forget it. It's not time aligned.
Okay.
So I said to myself, what can we do? So I had a long time listening with this panel, the King Sound, which I have a segmented 7 panel, and I was dreaming of maybe destroying it and put all the driver, the
Curve,
driver
okay.
on curve.
Yeah.
And finally, we decided to do it with the Dayton Wright. So we scrap the Dayton Wright, remove the panel, and build a curve like this. Well, we've built many. It's been 3 years, 3,000 hours of development before we came up with that design.
Yeah.
So, and that design is unique in many ways. Many ways. First, okay, it's an electrostatic.
Yeah.
And it's electrostatic with a power supply that is so overbuilt that no electrostatic speaker has ever been like that. I should show you. And inside of that, the circuitry inside is so powerful and so fast that it drives the panel, the 6,000 volt panel. It drives the panel with so much force and also so little electrostatic sound. This is a recipe that it took many months to find a trick to balance exactly the damping between the mechanical and the electromechanical damping. But we find the right spot where there's no electrostatic sound. So that's the power. So basically you can have 3 models. One which has a 7 cell and it's aligned for 3 meter, or you have 9 cell for also 3 meter, or you have 9 cell for 4 meter, or another one with 10 cell for 5 meter listening distance. So when you order these, you know what's going to be your listening distance. So in a way, this is unique in the power, the quality of the cell. I should show you the cell were developed by Michael Wright, but well, this one is broken. But this is the magic, the depth here. It can have more travel than most electrostatic cell that you know.
I see.
So they were built to be driven by 14,000 volt of polarisation. So it's very unique design. So we use these, and we bought some new because I bought the company and the old inventory. But we cleaned them. We have some time retention. But anyway.
Did you say you bought the company?
Yeah, bought.
You bought the company so that you have.
But the company who Michael Wright have stopped producing these 35 years ago.
Okay.
And he left all the floor plan with the parts.
Yeah.
Idle for 35 years. So there was dust everywhere.
Okay.
And while I was looking for old parts, the guy told me, "Hey, I want transformer because you need a transformer, which is unique." And he told me, "Come with me." Okay, so I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah,
we come in an industrial park. Look at the door. Dayton Wright Industries. What's that? I thought you were dead.
Right.
Open the door, and the window the widow of Michael Wright was still there, working. They produce contact enhancer that is stabilant. I'll show you. But this is only part of the factory. The rest they didn't touch. So when I've explained her that I was crazy enough to build new speaker out of old speakers, said, wow, who's that guy?
So they don't exist on the market then?
No. We have to buy used old. That's why it's a very limited series. We can build maybe 12 pair.
12 pairs?
So far, yeah. So there's 6 more to sell.
Really? Oh
So
my
it's
God.
so exclusive.
So let me get this right. You bought a whole company so that you can build 12 pairs of speakers.
Yeah.
You know, that sounds a bit insane, right?
Yeah. Well, I
Wow.
bought the inventory because and the name, because when the widow saw that we could sort of pay tribute to
Yes.
the genius of Michael Wright, she said, "Okay, let's do your best." So we found a lot of transformer and some new cells. So not much, but enough to build a little series. So we need to be crazy, because if you take into account the 3,000 hours of development for this,
Yes.
and the cost to build one pair,
Yes.
and I sell that for 68,000,
Yes.
the margin is not 5 to 1.
Yes. Yes.
It's
Yes.
almost not 1 to 1. So, but we do that for pleasure, to know, for ourselves. It was built. This was built for me first.
So it's almost like a passion project
Oh,
then,
absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
It's not there to make money, even though it's $68,000.
Well,
I know the feeling.
the 3,000 hours of development. This is free. We're not paid.
Yes.
And when I say the cost is half, it doesn't take my. If I take, let's say, little salary, it will be three. I don't know, 3 times the price. So it's crazy cheap.
Yeah.
But the goal is to build something that is so unique. First of all, it's something that I know is the best possible. It's an electrostatic.
Yeah.
It's time aligned.
Yeah.
There's a crazy power supply, better than anything else.
Yeah.
And the other trick is that only this cell is full range.
Oh, so only one cell.
That's the whole difference. If I have a big panel like that, time aligned, this is very better. That's good, no problem. But since you have many different sources in the space, your brain will have to work to rebuild the spatialisation, exact spatialisation. It doesn't work like that. You need only one source. You know the full range magic.
Yeah.
Eh? So this is full range magic, because only this cell is full range, no crossover. From 40 or 35 to 18,000, you have all the signal here. All those, the remaining are cut at 250K. So they are for the tonal balance. But when you sit there, all the complete information only come from this cell. And your brain use it to recreate the space. If I use 2, it's going to be less precise. If I use only 1, you have the full, no crossover, full signal, full speed, full power, no mass. Electrostatic. I mean, it's so fast. It doesn't store energy. It has no mass.
I see.
That's why electrostatic are so special. The speed is way better than any mechanical movement.
Yes.
So it's very different. So you have a unique design, a unique configuration, unique power supply, unique cell, and also we use Mondorf super tweeter. But the magic is pure signal on magic cell, and then you can recreate the spatialisation. So the illusion is so complete. And also it comes with a little, about a feet long, fidelium cable.
Yes,
because we
yes,
haven't talked about the cable yet.
yes, the cable.
The, the cable are made by Jeffrey Smith of Silversmith Audio, and I've known Jeff for 25 years because when he started his company with silver cable like this, we've tested and we decided to use the silver cable at that time, and then he built some cable with palladium, which is very rare. But then he stopped production because he had to go back to the army. But when he came back after 10 years, his dream cable was this. So it's a special alloy for him. And when we've tested, I say, oh, wow. Because, knowing that the electronic is the most musical possible, I don't hesitate, well, is it a good match with my amp? Or I know the signal coming from the amp is almost pure music. So if the cable gives me more finesse, more harmonic richness, or I don't call it richness, it's called coherence. I mean, it has to be lively and real. So, and this cable was better than any cable that I know, and I've used very expensive cable, honestly. So that's for the speaker. And when he this year he came up with the XLR interconnect.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Well, this one's only $2,000, right? 3 grand, I think.
No, 15, 17 grand. 1700.
1,700
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the interconnect is average, let's say 1,400.
Because if you think about it, you have a $1,700 cable connected to a $300,000. You know that there is something
Doesn't
wrong.
make sense, eh?
Right.
Well, I'm not a regular dealer. I sell only my reference.
Yes, I understand the meaning.
So,
yeah. I'm gonna just film a little bit your look at the room, guys.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of LP.
Well, yeah, some LP and some magazine.
So you got the quads here. These are
the quads,
restored.
This is 63, but it's with a completely different frame. It's all rebuilt.
And
so
this is the legendary.
the Marantz console.
Yes.
Yeah, tube, preamp, with tone control and
Tone control, man.
Yes,
like those were the good days.
Yeah, the RCM.
RCM.
That's an integrated amp.
Oh.
Tube.
Okay.
It weighed 100 pounds, and it's not in production anymore because it was too costly to build. But this is crazy good. Yeah.
How much was it at the time? This one.
Between 15 and 20 grand.
20 grand. Yeah. When was that? 10 years ago? 20 years ago?
10 years ago. Yeah.
20 grand for this.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's
it's
tube.
And they have to stop making it because it's not
too expensive. Look at the big transformer.
There's like, there's a lot of them behind.
And inside it's built like a tank, and you look at the wire, how it is. It's like a tenor. it's very interesting.
All right, so
okay, and maybe a unique thing is that should I put it out, but. It's a driver, a full range driver. It's a kind of foil, okay?
Yeah.
And there's a magnetic motor in the middle, and you have the same thing on the other side. So it's a bipolar, and it's a full range between maybe 80 to 12 or 15K, but no crossover, and it has a dispersion pattern, very special, and it's very dynamic, very dynamic.
Very dynamic.
Yeah,
oh.
surprisingly, very, very fast. So this was designed by Mr. Deminier. He's a French engineer, and I had ordered one pair for me.
Oh, okay, okay.
These are the famous OTL 75 watt monoblock amplifier, integrated amplifier. And that's the first amplifier that Tenor Audio built in 2001. And that's what started the company, because those who've heard that You can even talk to Jonathan Valen of Absolute Sound. If you tell him about this, he say it made some magic that he when I see him say, hey, when are you gonna start back to produce that? It's very nice, but the new hybrid are better at all. No, yeah. But it has some mid-range magic.
How much was it at the time though?
25 to almost 30,000.
That's what, 20 years ago.
20 years ago. It was still expensive.
Well, it's like 50 grand today's money with all the inflation that we have.
Yeah.
Right?
But it was an integrated, so you don't need preamp. So basically, it was a good selling. And there was one with only 2 tubes, so it's a 15 watt. But this one was 75 watt.
Oh, I want to show you guys this.
Okay, what?
Full range.
That's 8 inch.
Yeah.
AER DB MB 3B.
Yeah.
That's 15 grand, but I did a stupid mistake, and the coil just went out red, and it just stick to the paper. So
guys, this is 15 grand here. He burned it.
yeah.
So this is all
No,
part
it's
of...
only 7 grand because the other one is
yeah.
too good.
So you can imagine R&D, right? When you play with building speakers and stuff, people don't see the loss incur in development.
Oh yeah.
Right?
And,
The amount of investment.
This AER, this magnet is, I don't know, it's kind of almost 2 Tesla of magnetic power, but this has some kind of magic in the sound. This is pre-production.
Yep. And